You are sitting on the couch, and you decide to get up for a glass of water. Before your feet even touch the floor, you hear it. The soft thump of a body shifting, the quiet click of nails on the floor. And by the time you reach the kitchen, there they are, right behind you, watching. Maybe it happens at the front door. Maybe it happens in the hallway or outside the bathroom, where a patient nose waits in the gap beneath the door. Wherever you go, your dog goes too. And most of us have quietly decided what that means. It means love. It means loyalty. It means this animal simply cannot bear to be apart from us. It is a beautiful thought, and it might even be true, but it is not the whole story. Because the same dog doing the same thing, walking the same few steps down the same hallway, could be telling you three completely different things, and the difference between them matters more than you might expect. So tonight, let's follow the follower. Let's find out what your dog is actually doing when it rises to walk beside you. And let's learn how to tell the difference between a dog that follows because it feels safe, a dog that follows because it has learned to, and a dog that follows because something feels wrong. Start with the moment itself. Slow it down. Before your dog ever gets up, there is a small window of decision. The head lifts, the eyes track you toward the doorway, and then there is a pause, a half second where nothing happens. In that pause, a great deal is happening. Your dog is reading the situation. Where are you going? Have you picked up your keys? Are you heading toward the kitchen or the front door or just across the room? That pause is not.
And what happens after the pause is where the real story begins. For a long time, science did not have a careful way to study the bond between a dog and a person. Then, researchers borrowed a tool that had been designed for something else entirely. Decades earlier, psychologists studying human infants had created a gentle laboratory test. They would watch how a small child behaved with a parent in the room, how the child explored, what happened when the parent stepped out, and how the child responded when the parent returned. From those patterns, they could describe the quality of the attachment between them. In the late 1990s, a group of ethologists in Hungary asked a striking question: what if we did the same thing with dogs? They brought dogs and their owners into a room, along with a friendly stranger. They watched. They let the owner leave and return, and what they saw looked remarkably familiar. With their owner present, the dogs explored more, they played more, they were braver in a new place. When the owner left, many dogs became subdued, moved toward the door, and waited. When the owner came back, they greeted them and settled. The dogs were treating their person as something researchers call a secure base, a fixed point of safety from which the world feels manageable. This is the first and warmest explanation for following. For many dogs, you are not just a person in the house. You are the center of the map. Being near you is not only pleasant, it makes the entire environment feel safe enough to relax in. So when you move, the center of the map moves, and a securely attached dog quietly moves with it.
The mouth is relaxed. The dog trots after you without urgency, and when you stop, it flops down nearby with a sigh and lets its eyes go soft. It followed you, and now it rests. The proximity was the point, and the proximity has been achieved. But here is where we have to be honest, because there is a second explanation, and it has nothing to do with feelings at all. It has to do with everything your dog has learned about you. Think about what you actually represent, from a dog's point of view. You are the one who opens the food container. You are the one who picks up the leash. You are the one who opens the door to the yard, who drops crumbs while cooking, who reaches into that particular cabinet where the good things live. Over months and years, your dog has quietly gathered a mountain of evidence about one simple fact: good things happen where you are. Learning is powerful, and it is invisible. Every time your dog followed you to the kitchen and something wonderful happened, that path was reinforced, not through emotion, but through consequence. So some following is not a love letter at all. It is a well-trained habit, built one dropped crumb at a time, and you can often spot it because it is purposeful and specific. For some dogs, being apart from their person does not feel neutral. It feels like unease, and so they follow, not toward comfort, but away from distress. This looks different if you know what to watch for. The body is tighter. You might see panting when the room is not warm and the dog has not been running. You might see a low or tucked tail, a tongue that flicks out to lick the lips, a yawn that arrives at a strange moment. When you stop moving, this dog does not settle. It stands. It watches the door. It cannot quite let its guard down, because in its experience, the distance between you is a problem to be solved, over and over again. And this is the moment for care, because it is easy to swing too far. The internet has recently fallen in love with a frightening phrase, and now every shadow of a dog gets labeled with separation anxiety. That is not fair to dogs, and it is not accurate. Most following is perfectly healthy. A dog that trots after you and then relaxes is not a dog in crisis. It is a dog that likes you. The real signal is not the following itself. The real signal is what happens in the absence. A content dog can be near you or apart from you and be all right either way. A dog struggling with genuine separation distress falls apart specifically when left alone. If your dog, when truly separated, panics, destroys, cries for long stretches, or cannot be soothed, that is not a personality quirk to interpret on your own. That is a conversation to have with a veterinarian or a qualified behavior professional who can look at the whole picture with you. The same steps, the same doorway, 3 different stories underneath. This is the part that changes how you see your dog. You cannot read the meaning from the following alone. You have to read the whole animal and the whole moment. What is the body doing? What is the tail doing? What happened just before? And most of all, what happens when the movement stops? Does your dog dissolve into rest, or does it stay switched on, watching for the next departure? There is one more group of dogs worth mentioning gently, because their following can change over time. As some dogs grow older, their eyes dim and their hearing fades. The world becomes quieter and blurrier and harder to navigate. And in that softening world, a familiar person becomes something like a lighthouse. An older dog may begin to follow more closely, not out of new anxiety, but because you have become the most reliable landmark it has left. If that change comes on suddenly, it is worth a checkup. But often, it is simply an old friend staying close to the thing it trusts most. Now go back to the beginning, back to the couch, and the glass of water, and the soft sound of your dog getting up to come with you. You know something now that you did not know before. You know to look at the pause before the rising. You know to read the loose body or the tight one. You know to watch not just the following, but the settling that comes after. Most of the time, what you will find is the simplest and best thing of all. A dog who has decided that wherever you are is the right place to be. Not because it cannot survive the next room without you, but because in a life full of choices, it keeps choosing you. Quietly, again and again, one doorway at a time.
And the next time you stand up and you hear that familiar shift of weight behind you, you might pause too, just for a second, and really see the animal that has decided to walk with you, because it has been telling you something all along. And now, at last, you know how to listen.